The fourth technique I'm going to discuss is jitter peeking. Jitter peeking is more of a strategy after you've already sliced the pie or peeked and have already found where an enemy is. So right here I have SSP from my team Meh helping me out here. And so when you are slicing the pie or are peeking, you're going to abruptly come out from the corner and take a shot. And so if you do it more quickly, and that way the only time you're exposing your own hitbox is while you're putting shots down range. This is a very popular strategy in a lot of competitive play, and basically every single shooter game you'll see jitter peeking. The idea is you just want to repeat it until your enemy's down. However, there are certain shortcomings to this because it is such a commonly used tactic. There are ways to counter it. First of all, you're relying on a few factors that are kind of subject to human error. The first one is that you're kind of relying on your opponent to have slower reaction time. Say he and I are aiming sniper rifles at each other. If I want to jitter peek him with a sniper, I'm going to have to come out, shoot him, and then come back in. All the while before he's already pre-aiming this sliver of space that I'm going to come out into. He's already pre-aiming that. So I have to move, which he's going to see because he's going to see my head and my shoulder, my elbow first. So I'm going to move, so he's going to be anticipating my movement. I have to stop to let my sniper spread settle down. I'm going to have to shoot and then come back in. So jitter peeking is sometimes risky. You're relying on his reaction time being slower. Now, human reaction time to visual stimulation is usually around 200 milliseconds. But, you know, if he can see my head or my shoulders already, then what's the point? He knows I'm coming. Secondly, you're relying on the successfulness of your aim because you're exposing yourself exactly as many times as you're shooting. So if you have really bad aim, if you're all over the place, it doesn't matter. The more shots you have to put down range, the more times you're exposing yourself, which means the more time for you to take damage. And then the last factor that you're relying on is server latency. So server latency is even if I come out here and shoot him and duck back in, maybe he has a sniper and maybe I'm really quick about it, you know, he barely even can get a shot at me. But in that certain span of time, on his screen, I'm still out here even when I'm actually back here on my screen, and he's able to hit my delayed hitbox. I mean, server latency can be, you know, between a good server will give you low ping, but a high ping server, like 100 milliseconds or higher, and you're going to get shot, what it seems, through walls pretty often if you're doing jitter peeking. Now, because of all these shortcomings, you'll see in some of my videos, when I'm attempting to jitter peek an enemy and they're jitter peeking me back, I'm actually going to do pre-fire and pre-aiming. And this is a strategy that I found has worked quite well. So basically, I'm going to ask, hey SSP, can you go ahead and go behind cover there? And I'm going to ask you to just pop out and take jitter peek shots at me. Just kind of pop out, shoot. Don't actually hit me because I don't want to die, but go ahead and do that. Like actually pop out fully and take shots. There you go. So what I can do here is I can just pre-aim him. I can wait till he goes under cover, and I can just pre-aim him and pre-fire him like that. Now typically you'll want to, you know, he was only doing a couple shots at a time, but what I would want to do is I would want to wait for him to overheat his blaster or something like this. Now he goes under cover, and now that's when I'm coming out, is because he's overheated. So that's when I decide to start engaging, and I can just pre-fire that. This pre-aim and pre-fire strategy is very common in high-level play, and so jitter peeking, it does have a time and a place, and you need to use it accordingly.